Hi, everybody. I'm Christina Daves, and part of my Living Ageless and Bold platform, I want to start talking about travel for women over 50, women over 55. We just got back from the most incredible trip ever. We did a safari in Africa. I've done a whole blog post on it. I'll link to that, but I wanted to do a video also and just kind of go through step by step what we did, how we did it, what was great, what we would have changed, which really was not anything. We were so blessed. My husband and I went with our son, who's 25, and it all came about because with his promotion, he got a 2-week vacation and none of his buddies had this extra 2 weeks. So I was like, oh, let's do a safari. And that's how this all transpired. I really didn't know what to expect, but it was truly, truly incredible. I say he's 25 because we saw a lot of families going with younger kids just asleep in the safari vehicles. To keep in mind, you're safaring at 6 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. And it's just not conducive for little ones. You spend a lot of time in a safari vehicle looking, trying to find something. So I would definitely recommend doing it with your adult children. Older teenagers is great, grandchildren, but I would hold off on this trip with the little ones. So where to go? We went kind of all over the place. We weren't sure. There was Bali, there was South Africa, but we ended up picking Kenya and Tanzania, which was super cool. There are some downsides, not really a downside, but they are two separate countries. So you have to do border crossings to get across. So we flew into Nairobi, flew Emirates. I will say we flew the Airbus A380, which was phenomenal. It's actually our son. This was kind of his dream airplane. I was like, he's not flying in the back, or I'm not flying in the back, and my son is in business class on Emirates. So we did splurge. It was a big splurge to do that, but it's a long flight. We flew from Dulles to Dubai, which was almost 14 hours, 13 and a half. And then it was another 5.5 from Dubai to Nairobi. Coming back was longer. So to be able to lay flat in a bed and actually sleep probably saved us a couple days on either end of our trip. We flew into Nairobi. The tour operator had our person pick us up, Oscar. He was amazing. We spent the first night in a hotel, picked us up the next morning. We went to our first camp. So we did the Maasai, which is incredible. We did Maasai, Serengeti, Tarangire, I always say that wrong, and Tsavo, if you want to look at a map. So we did 4 really different things. So we did beginning in Kenya, 2 in Tanzania, and then the last one in Kenya. When you go to Kenya, the border crossings are kind of on the other side of where you're going. So it's a lot of travel. Just be prepared if you want to do that. I loved doing it. I loved seeing all the different aspects of that part of Africa. The other thing is how you get there. You fly on these itty bitty little planes. They're like the taxis, and you literally land on a dirt strip in the middle of nowhere. You have to get used to that. It is a little unnerving. We took a lot of flights. That's how you get around from camp to camp. So again, we chose Kenya and Tanzania. Look and see what's good for you and for your family. The other thing that we did is we went the end of June, which is not peak season. It's right before peak season. We did miss the wildebeest migration. We were really hoping we were on track. It was coming a little early, and then they shifted. That being said, we did see buffalo migration and a zebra migration. But when you go at that peak season, if there's a sighting, let's say there's lions, everybody gets on the radio and the walkie-talkies and their phones. They tell people, they kind of all work together. It's hard to find the cats. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's hard. We saw all of them. We saw leopard, cheetah, lots of lions, but it's hard. But the cool thing in the off season is when we found them and alerted other people, or other people found them and alerted us, you could spend as much time as you wanted there. It was maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles tops. What our guides told us is that when you're in peak season, it's 100 vehicles that come and you get 5 minutes to look. We spent 2 hours with the lions one day, and it was just us and another car. The other car happened to be the guys that we met at our camp. We were the only 5 there. So we all became fast friends, but that was truly amazing. So really think about what you want. We got rained on maybe an hour of 11 days and 10 nights. Nothing a hat couldn't fix. And they put the top on if it gets too bad. That was it. So if I had to do it again, I would do it in the off season. Okay, so we've decided where to go. Packing. Oh my gosh. So we were very fortunate. Our tour guide actually gave us a duffel bag. You have to have the duffel bags on these little planes, and they can't have wheels. We met a couple who had their wheelie board, real luggage, and they almost couldn't take it. Like they had to pay money to be able to put those on the plane. So you've got to have a duffel bag to pack in. And when I say our tour guide sent it to us, it is really critical that you have a good travel agent who coordinates all of this for you. My girlfriend, long-term friend, travel agent, Jen Liebold of Destinations Done Right, took really good care of us. I can't stress that enough. You need somebody organized who understands all of it. Your tour guide, they're coordinating your drivers and your flights, and there's so much to see and there's so much to do, and you're in a country like us we've never been to before. So anyway, they send us the duffel bag. Here you go, ladies. This was my heart attack moment. 33 pounds total in your duffel bag and your backpack. Now I'm the gal who's at 52 pounds when I'm flying in the United States, but I've got status, so they give me a couple extra pounds. I went to Europe this year. I could take 70. I took 68.5. Had to buy a suitcase to bring things back. I did it. I pulled it off. The key is you don't need a lot of stuff. Know your camps. There were some camps where I didn't wear any makeup. I wore shorts and a sweatshirt. One camp was just my husband, my son, and I, and the people working in the camp. We did have 2 other ones where we went to dinner, just a little nicer. I pull on capris. But on my blog post, I give you a checklist of everything that I took. The other thing that's really cool is they do laundry for you at all the camps. And you don't have to worry about dryers. They don't have dryers. They wash it and they hang it to dry. You just need to find out if you can get same day service if you are bouncing around, which I really recommend going to the different camps and seeing. It's a lot, but when you're in a duffel bag and that's all you have, it's not that hard. And I strongly recommend the cubes. I had all my shirts in one, all my shorts in one, my pants and my leggings in one. Ladies, the key though, very important. It is a cultural issue. They cannot wash your underwear. So you're going to have to pack a lot of underwear because it's just, they won't do it. But again, I had them all in my little cube. So that was amazing. But you can do this. And I have the checklist about, how many tank tops I brought, how many shorts I brought. It's very cool in the mornings and the evenings, and then it gets really hot in the middle of the day. So you're going to want sunscreen. If you have hair like mine, you're going to want a clip. I got the hat that has the ponytail holder in the back. That was pretty cool. Or the pony, you could pull your hair through on the ponytail, which was great. And layer. You're going to wear shorts and maybe a tank top and a sweatshirt. They do all have blankets in there, which was really nice. So you could go with shorts. I was going to buy the zip offs. You've seen the zip off pants that are like shorts and 3/4, and my girlfriends teased me. So I didn't do it, but I could see how it could be valuable. Leggings, you definitely need leggings. I brought boots, tennis shoes, wedges, because we did have some dinners that I wanted to dress up a little bit, and flip-flops, which you don't wear a lot if you have a pool. We ended on a really fancy place that had a pool. That was lovely. So again, I have the whole checklist. You can see all the things that I had, but just truly the experience of a lifetime. Food. We did all inclusive. So again, I recommend that. We had 3 fabulous meals a day, all you could eat, all you could drink. Alcoholic beverages were included. African wine, ladies, wow, I loved it. So good. But for somebody like me, as we get older, I don't eat 3 meals a day. I'm a grazer and a snacker. That's what I like to do. And there's no snacking. In retrospect, I would have probably brought like a big bag of popcorn and a little reusable Ziploc bag that I could just put a little snack in every day, maybe some mini Kind bars. I don't know if you can transport nuts, when you go across, they individually pack things, but I would have much rather, because I would nibble at breakfast, some fruit, just a little bit. And breakfast is just like we have at home, pancakes, grapes, granola. I'm just not that hungry. So I eat a little bit. An hour later, I'm starving again. You don't eat lunch until you come back from the safari. So you might want to think about some kind of way to have a snack, or ask the camps if you could have a banana or an apple, something to take in there. Meals were delicious. It was meat, starch, usually rice, which take it or leave it, tons of delicious vegetables. Spinach is really big there. I love that. You do have bread at every meal, and you do have dessert at lunch and dinner, and soup every lunch and dinner. The soups were phenomenal. Like, one of them was pea coconut. There was a fennel soup. There was a tomato soup. I don't even like tomato soup. I loved this tomato soup. So you will eat really, really well. I am a Diet Coke girl, so that was hard. Coke Zero, not my favorite. I don't drink coffee. There was an issue in Tanzania with the Coca-Cola bottlers. They used to do plastic. Now they're doing glass, but they can't find anyone to do the glass. So I did go 2 days without my caffeine fix. The food is delicious. You will not go hungry. It's fantastic. Let me see. Vaccines. I'm not a doctor, clearing all this up right now. My doctor recommended Passport Health, which is all across the country. You go, it's $99. They do a consult. They're going to tell you 30 vaccines they want you to get. It's up to you and your doctor. Yellow fever is required to go to Africa. You get a yellow card. It's a once in a lifetime. Once you have it once, you're done. Here's the trick that somebody told me, which was super helpful. In some states, Costco does this too, and it is half the price of Passport Health. So we paid $500 for vaccines. Our son paid $1,000 because he's in New York. So it really cuts that price in half. So I would look for an alternative like a Costco. I don't know if any of the other drugstores do it. Once we found out about Costco, we just went there, and they were great. But you have to do the consult with them too. So I did the Passport Health for $99, the Costco for $39, but then we ended up getting all the vaccines that we wanted to get. Not wanted, who wants to get a shot, but that we chose to get above the yellow fever at Costco. If you're over 60, ladies, you need to talk to your doctor, because there are certain shots they don't recommend that you get over 60. And I don't know how that works with the yellow fever specifically. So talk to your doctor about that. The other thing I forgot to mention is you'll need a travel visa going from Kenya to Tanzania. But your travel agent, your tour guide, they will work all that out with you. Money, that US dollars, everybody takes dollars. You don't have to worry about that. Or somebody was talking about shillings, and they'll convert everything for you. I have a whole thing on the blog about what to tip. They're so funny. They love Americans. All our tour guides told us that, because Americans are great tippers, but there's specific guidelines, how much you tip your tour guide, what you tip the staff there, and you tip all the staff together, X amount per person per day. For me, my husband, my son, and then they divvy it up. But that's all in the blog post. I'll have the link to that. So check that out. Let's see. Oh, types of lodges. So we stayed, our last place was glamour. I mean, it was a hut. It was fabulous. They had a spa there. Unbelievable. We kind of went the realm of everything. We did stay in one place that was super rustic. That was cots. We had 3 twin cots in our canvas tent. Like, it was canvas on the bottom. But so know where you're staying, know what your bed configuration is, especially if you're with kids. I did not like sleeping in a twin bed / cot at all. I'm too old for that. It was fine. I mean, it was great. I was with my son and my husband. It was amazing, but I should have asked more questions about that. The other places were really nice, beautiful. Yes, we were out in the tent in the middle of the grassy lands, but beautiful inside, like nice bedding, nice bathrooms. Only our last place had water that we could brush our teeth with, but all the other camps will provide you with fresh water that it's okay. I know a lot of people were asking about that. They give you a separate jar that you put next to your bed, and then you put next to your sink to brush your teeth. When you take a shower, it's like Mexico, just be careful. Don't drink it all in. So what to wear, bring your adapter. Most of these camps are in generators too. And when you're like the really remote camp that we were at, if the generator dies, the Wi-Fi dies, and it takes 24 hours to reset it. So you have to have your expectations in place. I work for myself, and there were 2 or 3 days I had no communication with the outside world. Just be prepared for that. But the bigger camps, we didn't have, I say bigger, the less rustic, the more glamping camps, we didn't have any issues at all with that. The safari itself, be on the lookout. Ask your guide to tell you what you're looking for. If you're in tall grasses, if you're in short grasses, because different animals are in different places. How do you spot a leopard in a tree? I didn't learn that until probably day 4, which then I knew I wasn't looking for the right thing, because you can help. We spotted a lot of stuff. My son spotted a lion over on a rock that we went to, and then everybody came. I spotted a buffalo out in the middle of the grasses, and then the tour guide went right over. He's like, oh my gosh, this was a new kill. And there were lions close by, and we backed off a little bit, and the lions came up. One question I get from a lot of people is, were we scared ever? I was never scared. I was never scared. Now, we were not out at night. And when you're there at the camps at night, they are walking you, trained people. Sometimes they're armed guards. They've got flashlights. They have weapons. Do not go outside at night. That is scary. We actually had at the super rustic camp, 2 lions, I guess, had a kill right outside of our tent. And I was so tempted to open it and like shine the flashlight, but I was not stupid and did not do that. So, you are safe. You are in a vehicle. Those animals really don't want anything to do with you. They'll tell you like the hippos are really dangerous, but the hippos are in the water, and it's when they're going to feed at dusk and at night that you don't want to be in their way. But I was never afraid. You really, really, really need a seasoned guide. I cannot stress this enough. So these guides know what they're doing. They know how to spot these things. They know how to keep you safe. They know when to back off. Our last guide was getting his gold certification, which is like after 25 years. He was amazing. They were all amazing, but the youngest person we had 8 years experience. So I have to just continue to stress that over and over again. Oh, the tribes. So do some research about African tribes, especially the Maasai. You'll meet a lot of people. They help out at the camps. I fell in love with some of these young men. Take the time to spend time with them and learn about their culture and how they live. This trip changed me. It really did. And it's fun that even a tribal warrior is on Instagram. It turns out their phones are solar, but we're like connected. One of the last things we saw was a very, very pregnant lioness. Sure, she was in labor, and I can't wait to see the pictures of the cubs. It'll be about 3 weeks before. This trip is incredible. It's an incredible bonding for you, a significant other, spouse, kids. Again, I can't stress enough, older kids. It's a lot of money and a lot of time. I actually would be scared to have a little one at one of those rustic camps if they ran off. There's tall grasses everywhere. There are lions in those, or cats in those grasses. But anyway, so that is kind of my rundown. If I missed anything, there's so much in the blog post. Head over to ChristinaDaves.com, go under blog, and it will be there. I just can't tell you how amazing, life-changing, transformational an African safari is. The people of Kenya and Tanzania are the happiest, kindest people you will ever meet. And it was just such a joy to be able to spend almost 2 weeks there in that beautiful, beautiful country with the beautiful landscape and the beautiful animals. And I keep saying, I don't know what I'm going to do every time I turn a corner. There's no giraffe. There's no zebra. It was truly an incredible experience and opportunity. And I wish that everybody watching has the same experience that we did.